Okay, so now I have 3 of the range of Majacraft wheels. There are 5 in the range. So, but these 3 really represent the major, apart from the art yarn wheel, the aura, these 3 represent the major differences in the wheels. So I have a Suzi Pro here, and you know that it's a Suzi Pro because of the green drive wheel. And this is the Majacraft Rose. And then at the very end we have the little gem. So if somebody was coming here and to my home and trying out the wheels, well, the first thing I would do is put the kettle on, but the first thing we do is have a discussion about what type of spinning you focus on and what type of spinning you really enjoy, and what are your dreams or thoughts for the future with your spinning. Are you a person who experiments with your spinning? So what sort of growth do you want in your spinning, and or not? Where are you happiest? So if I had somebody who was a traditional spinner and who was spinning mainly traditional smooth style yarns, 2 or 3 ply yarns, maybe between the range of, and I'll talk in knitting terms, between the range of 4 ply and say, or fine, a 2 ply, right up to say 16 ply, or reasonable bulky yarn, then any of these wheels would really do that. But some are going to actually be a little bit more stronger, have strength in that area. And one of those wheels would be the Rose. Now, the Rose, I say that it is a lovely wheel for spinning traditional yarns on, and it has a traditional look. So you can spin traditional yarns on a Suzi Pro and on a Suzi. That's one of the wheels that is missing here. The Suzi is very similar in design to the Suzi Pro, except it has the wooden drive wheel, or the MDF drive wheel here. When you look at a spinning wheel, you can see immediately that there are some differences between the drive wheel. So we have the Suzi Pro, and if we had a Suzi here, it would have a similar size drive wheel, although the Suzi Pro is slightly heavier. We have, of course, the larger drive wheel of the Rose, and then we have the really tiny drive wheel of the little gem here. So the drive wheel is basically what gives the inertia, of the action of the spinning wheel, and also the look of the spinning wheel. So I tend to think that the Rose really was created for those people who like a more traditional wheel, and to achieve that they basically popped the spokes in here, and of course therefore the drive wheel had to be a little larger because of that. It is larger and slightly lighter than the Suzi Pro in the drive wheel sense, but you get the same sort of feel on the treadles with both of these wheels. The little gem has a completely different action to it. Still a true double treadle wheel. As you can see, the drive wheel is a lot smaller, and the way in which the double treadle action works is very different, and that's because it's a travel wheel. So if you're the type of person who travels around Australia, wants something really that fits in a bag, which it does, and is easy to take to meetings and or take away with you, then the little gem is a great little wheel. So, okay, so let's have a chat about the person who would buy a rose. Number one, they would like the traditional look of the wheel. And they would be the type of person who did more traditional spinning. They would dabble maybe a little bit in art yarn or textured yarn occasionally. And therefore they could, you know, buy a plying kit or a hybrid kit to go on here to get larger capacity with the bobbins. You can have it with or without the rose etching, so we can order it naked for you or with the rose etching. And it comes with some other options. It comes with the high-speed flyer here, which has the tube orifice to it. It also comes with this flyer, which is the one that has the delta orifice to it. It comes with 4 bobbins, and it also comes with a little lazy Kate, and also a smaller set of pulleys or whirls as well. So it's a real great package for somebody who's a traditional spinner and who likes a traditional look to their spinning wheel. So now we come into something that looks a little bit more modern, or a little, just let's say a little bit different. It has a solid wheel to it. And in this case, it's called the Suzi Pro. So this one was basically designed for people who would do a lot of spinning. So the wheel itself, the drive wheel itself, is a little heavier. So your couple of first treadles, in order to get momentum, will be a little stronger. But once you're up and running, this wheel will just fly along. It's a great production wheel. Fantastic for spinning all sorts of yarns. Very similar range to the rose, but a very different look. It has the bobbin holders on the front. This is not a lazy Kate. Well, in a pinch you could use it as a lazy Kate, but quite frankly I prefer to think of them as bobbin holders. And like the rose, it does fold down for traveling. So basically what you would do is you just undo the front part here, and it basically folds down. You tighten it up and the handle comes up, and you'd stand on this side of your wheel and be able to carry it. So it sits in the back seat of your car and very easily, as does the rose. And there's the handle of the rose, so that when you drop the head, and the dropping of the head is really very useful, because if you're doing some long draw spinning and you want a little bit of distance between, a bit of extra distance so that you can do a really long draw, you can actually have the head at any angle that you want. And if you're right or left-handed, you can actually switch the head around to have the bobbin on this side or this side, depending on what your dominant hand is. So the Suzi, which has a veneer wheel, it more with the wooden look, and the Suzi Pro and the Rose will be the 3 main wheels for traditional spinners. You can certainly do art yarns on them, but you'd have to trick them up or alter them a little bit in order to do that. But their strength and their comfort zone are definitely traditional yarns.